Our scripture this week comes to us out of the 33rd chapter of Exodus. It is a story of God's glory being presented to Moses. Now, in chapter 33, we have the effects, or we see the effects of the people's disobedience. Hebrew people have been rescued, have escaped bondage in Egypt. They've come through the wilderness and they're at the foot of Mount Horeb. And Moses is given the Ten Commandments, brings the Ten Commandments and actually some further instructions down the side of the mountain. And then he returns to the mountain for another 40 days and 40 nights. It is during this time away that the people turn to Aaron and create the golden calf and sin against God. When he comes down from the mountain, Moses is angered that the people have turned away from God, and God expresses God's displeasure in verse 3 before our reading this week. God says, "Go to the land flowing with milk and honey, but I will not go up among you, or I would consume you on the way, for you are a stiff-necked people." Stiff-necked in this translation is about as close as we can get to what the original Hebrew means: hard-hearted, stiff-necked, unwilling to change, unwilling to see a different way of being. I don't know about you, but there have been some times where I'll wake up from a night's sleep and I have what we call a crick in our neck. My head doesn't move as well as I might like it to, and feel like I have to move my entire upper body to change my perspective. It's especially difficult if you're trying to drive a car. I've experienced that before. You have to almost rotate and take your eyes, your body and your eyes away from the path in front of you to check for people in your blind spot if you're merging lanes on a multi-lane road. That's a lot of what consumes our time, isn't it? We can be a stiff-necked people. We like things the way they have been or the way we think that they should be. And it's hard for us sometimes to shift and to change our perspective, to yield to what God is doing in the world. God does yield. God does change God's mind and eventually does go with the Hebrew people on this journey into the land of milk and honey. Our reading this morning for this text begins in the 12th verse and goes through the end of the chapter in verse 23, the chapter being Exodus 33. It's interesting, I believe, that this text is divided into three petitions, three prayers on Moses' behalf before God. God responds to each one of those in a different way. Moses first asks God that if I have, O God, he says, found favor in your sight, show me your ways so that I might know you and find favor in your sight. This is where God relents and says, my presence will go with you. Show me your ways is Moses' first prayer. Then Moses continues, if you show us the way, go with us, accompany us on the way. If your presence is not going with us, Moses prays, don't make us leave this place. We want to stay in your presence wherever that is. Moses prays, go with us. Show us your way. Go with us on the way. And God says, yes, I will go with you. My presence will be with you. And then finally, beyond showing the way, beyond going with the people on the way, Moses ups the ante and says, show me your glory. This is the one prayer in our text that God doesn't grant fully. God says, if I showed you all of the glory that is me, you would surely perish. But I will hide you in a cleft of a rock. I will cover your face. And then you will see me as I leave this place. Moses has three prayers. Show us your way, be present with us, and show us your glory. May we have those same three prayers each and every day of our lives. God, show us the way. God, be present with us. And God, may we see